Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my last ever university related video. What? Now this video kind of comes in two parts. Perhaps the most important being that in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you my final university grade classification, and at this current moment in time as I'm filming this I have not got it yet. We've been told that we would get it today, so I thought I would film this bit first. The bit that I'm filming right now being a little bit of an explanation, because all throughout my university career when I've been posting videos about grades and results I've had a few questions about how it works, because not only is the grading system very different between the UK and anywhere else in the world, it is very different between Scotland and the rest of the UK. It's very different university to university and even sometimes course to course. So in the past when I've spoken about grades I've gotten different assessments. It might just be numbers and letters to everybody else. So I kind of wanted to sit down and talk about what it all means before I get to my final grade classification. But on top of that I feel as though it's taken me this long to make this video because, to be honest, up until a few months ago I really had no idea how it all worked. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to unpick the common grading scale, and at the end of this video I'm going to find out what I will be graduating with. So for the purpose of this video I have made some notes, because there's no way that I'm going to be able to sit down and talk about all of this without them. So without further ado, let's get into the scale itself. Now the scale is split up into 23 discrete grades, and those 23 grades are grouped together into 7 different groups, 7 different categories, 7 different bands. And so when your assignment, your essay, your project is marked, it will get a grade somewhere between 0 and 22. That number becomes known as your grade point, and each grade point equates to a grade. And in the majority of cases, the grade is what you will hear a lot of people speaking about. That, in our case, is the number and letter that are joined together that gives you your grade. So if you were to do an essay and you did absolutely spectacularly in it and you got full marks, you got 22 out of 22, that becomes an A1. That is the top mark that you can get. If you work down the grade point scale to 17 out of 22, that is a B1. It then goes down the grades B2, B3, C1, C2, C3 until you get to a D3, which is your kind of minimum grade for a pass, and that equates to 9 out of 22. What I might do is move slightly to this side so that I can put information here. So these grades and grade points match together perfectly, and each of them matches up to a band descriptor. So if you have an A grade, whether it's an A1 to an A5, that is the excellent category. If you get a B grade, that is very good. There's then good, and then there is pass. And these band descriptors in turn become your honour class or your grade classification. So that's just kind of a little brief overview of the system that we use at the University of Aberdeen. This is the system that I think is used at the majority of UK universities. Sometimes you might get your assessment marked and you just get a grade point back, or you just get a grade back, or you just get a band descriptor, but it'll always fall somewhere within that scale. So let's talk about my marks in particular. So at the University of Aberdeen, every course that you do, at the end of that semester you get a grade for it. Now that grade can come from one single assessment that you have done for that course, or if you've done a few different assessments throughout it, it will be an accumulation of those grades to give you your one final grade at the end of a semester. So as you go through university, you start accumulating all of these grades, and that is what becomes your honour class, your final grade, your grade classification. But for each course, these grades will have a slightly different weighing on your grade classification. Now for us at the University of Aberdeen, I think I can safely say that nothing in your first and second year on any degree will count towards your grade classification. It is always just the marks that you get in your third and fourth year that will have some sort of weighing towards your final grade. So throughout first and second year at uni, I was getting grades back on essays, on exams, on different assignments, and that was great because it showed me where I was sitting at, what I could do to improve, but they have no contribution to whatever is going to be on my certificate. My final grade classification is made up from my 3rd and 4th year results. Now for primary education, it is weighed 50% 3rd year and 50% 4th year, which I believe is quite rare because normally with most degrees, your 4th year results count more than your 3rd year results. I think it's normally a weighing somewhere around 65% to your 4th year, but for us, it's 50-50. Sounds easy, right? No, not quite. Not so easy, because although the last 2 years have equal weighing in my final grade classification, in 3rd year I had 5 courses, so I have 5 different grades. Whereas in 4th year, I only had 2 courses, so I only have 2 grades from this year. Because of that, the percentages start getting a little bit muddled around. So if you think the last 2 years of my education should build up to 100%, okay? I have 50% of it that is made up of my 3rd year marks, and I have 50% of it that's made up of my 4th year marks. In 4th year, I had 5 courses. One of my courses equates for 20% of my overall mark. I then had 2 other courses at 10% each. And then I had 2 courses which made up 5% each. So that was my extra 10% from 3rd year. Then in my 4th year, I had 2 courses. So imagine that this finger is broken in half. This is my 1st semester, this is my 2nd semester. And that is how my grade classification comes about. That is why currently sat here at this specific moment in time, I know that I have passed, I know that I have enough credits to graduate, but I don't really know what my grade classification looks like because I'm not sat down here somewhere, but I'm also not straight A's. Like, I don't know that I'm definitely sat within a certain grade boundary, and that is what I am waiting to hear. So I guess the last thing that I can do right now is run through the grades I've got throughout my 3rd and 4th year. These are the grades that are going to determine what it says on my certificate, and it goes a little bit like this. In my 3rd year, I had 2 courses that were both worth 5%, so they don't really have too much of a say in my final grade. In both of these courses, I received an A2, which is incredible. And if these had been, say, worth 20%, excellent. But as I say, they're only worth 5% of my final mark, so they're quite small. I then had 2 courses which were worth 10%. In one of these courses, I received a B1, and in the other, I received an A3. And then my final chunk of 3rd year, I guess, was worth 20%. And this is the one that still blows my mind, because in this course, I received an A1. An A1? Like 22 out of 22. Cannot believe it, can't get over it. And the fact that that was my biggest bulk of last year is great. Like, that's doing wonders up there. Then we move on to my 4th year results, and I only had 2 courses in 4th year, and each result equates to 25%. Now in 1st semester I got a B2, which I am so incredibly chuffed about, and even although it is my lowest grade, being someone that was a certified B student all throughout high school, to get that in a 4th year exam is incredible. And then we have my final university assignment, and I found out just a few weeks ago that I received an A4 for that assignment. So this is a picture about what my grades kind of look like. I'm going to try and arrange this so that it looks kind of like how I've been imagining things in my head. But I hope from this image you can kind of see what I mean by I don't really know what my grade classification is going to look like, because I have some great grades that don't equate to much, and I have much more bulkier grades that I did okay in but not as good as some of the other ones. And because of all of that confusion, I am just sat here waiting. Now the thing is, I feel like at this stage a lot of people are very much sat there just waiting to find out whether they've got a first, a 2-1, a 2-2, a third. Now this is where the kind of strange bit comes, I guess, because for a lot of people they might not know their final result until they find out their grade classification, so they don't know what it's going to look like. Whereas for me, I've just found out my final grade, and so I know that all of the information's kind of there already. I know that I've got enough to pass, but because of the way it's marked and the different weightings, I don't really know where I sit. I'm sure I'm somewhere sat in the kind of 2-1 area, which is so exciting. Like, when I was in 4th year at high school, I didn't think I'd go to uni. Like, I didn't think that uni was for me. I didn't think I was that academic, and I only went to uni because I wanted to do teaching, and I thought, do you know what, I just need to do the university bit. I'll try as hard as I can. All I need to do is pass and get out the other side. I never in a million years thought that, number one, I would have enjoyed university as much as I have. Like, I have had the best 4 years of my life, but in no way did I think that I could come out of university with a second-class honours degree. And as it stands currently, I think that's where I am, and I'm so excited. But I'm sat here, I don't really want to jinx myself until I see it written down, so I'm going to stop talking just now, and I'm going to pick up the camera again when I get my email. It should be today, but knowing how difficult the last few weeks have been with university and grades coming out and correspondence, I'm not really holding out much hope, so I might look different the next time you see me, put it that way. Okay guys, as predicted, it is now the next day. Our grade classifications did not come out last night, but a girl on my course has just messaged to say that they're uploaded, and it is time to log in to my university portal and see this actually written down. Okay, now is not the time for the internet not to work. Oh, come on. So red out of nowhere. Oh my god. I really wasn't expecting that. Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm actually shaking. Right, I can't speak. I can't believe that just happened. Like, at no point in the last 4 years of my life did I think that I'd be graduating from uni with a first. Right, I need to go and tell my mum. I need to go and calm down and tell my mum. Oh my god. So there we have it. That is my last sit down university video done. I guess I just want to take this opportunity to thank you guys for all of your support throughout the last 4 years. When I came to university, my little tiny bubble of the internet was a lot smaller than what it is now, and so many of you have followed me through my entire university journey. Over the last few weeks I've been receiving messages from people just because, like, my time at uni is coming to an end, and a lot of people have been reaching out and telling me that they have followed my whole journey and I've inspired them to do different things, and that means so much. And I hope that we continue to grow and move in the right direction, and I can hopefully continue to document my experiences here on YouTube, because this has been one of the best things that's come out of the last few years of my life. So I'm going to stop talking now because I am getting quite emotional. I'm going to leave you here and just say that if you haven't already subscribed and you've watched a few of my videos, please do, because it would mean the world. So there we have it. I'm going to head off now. Thank you guys very, very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon in another video. Bye.